Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Around the Ropes podcast episode right here on the new ATR network. As always, I am joined by one of the best ring announcers in the Northeast. He is the ring announcer for several promotions, including Invictus, Ace Pro Wrestling, Creative Pro, Wrestle Pro, and also if you're looking for a minister in the state of Pennsylvania, he's helping with that as well. You know him, you love him, the one, the only Ryan. Ryan, what's going on?
Doing good, man, but you forgot a little something.
I will get into that. And some people call him Sexy Ryan.
Thank you. And you could have said that after you said, "Hey, how you doing?" Oh my God. And of course, there is John. John, how you doing? Great. No one cares. Okay.
Yep. Sorry about laugh. But we got a lot to get to, and let's just hop right into it. Obviously, folks, like I said, in any of the stuff before the show, towards the end of the show tonight, we will be making 2 announcements, and I will be having a little bit of time with myself and you guys. Ryan, unfortunately, that's when I kind of go shush.
You go what?
Shush.
Shush? Well, first of all, you're saying it wrong. You've been trying to imitate, Mr. Chad Gable. It's sheesh. Thank you.
Yeah, that's at the end of the show. But let's get right into it. Now, obviously, folks, we are coming off the heels of arguably one of the best pay-per-views to have happened with Forbidden Door.
Oh, my God. And
now,
this was better than last year's, in my opinion.
Oh, I completely agree. Now, before we get into the certain matches I want to get into, Ryan, looking at it 30,000 feet above, how did you feel about the pay-per-view overall?
30,000 feet above?
Yeah.
We're not in the goddamn plane, jackass.
I know it's a figure of speech, but what did you think of the show?
Like I said, it was better than last year's, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. To me, the Toronto crowd seemed kind of weak.
In certain aspects, I would agree on that, but you also have to realize look at the type of matches you had.
Yeah, look where they were.
Exactly. But as far as me, I mean, there's nothing else I can. You pretty much nailed it right on the head. I think when you look at that pay-per-view top to bottom, the flow of it, where the matches were, everything fit perfectly. First one I want to get to is what opened up the show Sunday night, and that would be your AEW World Heavyweight Champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman taking on the ace himself, Tanahashi. Now, the first thing I want to get to is the scuttlebutt that happened on social media on Saturday when Tanahashi had his match with Strickland on Collision, where you had people in the IWC who were sitting there and saying that, oh, Tanahashi can't wrestle anymore. He's not the same guy he was 10 years ago. And I'm sorry. You look at New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, yes, we don't talk that much about New Japan on the show. I'll be the first one to say it, but in this aspect, we will. When you think about New Japan, especially its most recent time, Tanahashi...
I think in the last 20 years, I think.
Yeah, Tanahashi to me is on that list of guys that you think of. And the fact that you got people who are sitting there saying, oh, he can't wrestle anymore. Oh, he can't do this. I'm sorry. You got a guy who has given his life for this industry for the better part of the last 20 years. And you're going to turn around and start bitching and complaining that he can't wrestle now? Come on, people.
Sorry to correct you. It's a little bit longer than that. It's going on almost 25.
What, that he's been in with New Japan?
Oh, no, just wrestling in general. Because he started in 1999.
But how long has he been with New Japan for?
Around a little over 20 years.
But my point is this, though. The people who are sitting there saying that, oh, he can't wrestle, he can't, he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm sorry. Cut the crap now. These are the same people who are sitting there saying, oh, why did the AEW World Heavyweight title open up the show? Isn't the World Heavyweight title supposed to close the show? Well, I'm sorry, folks, to tell you that much. When you have a main event of Bryan Danielson versus some guy named Okada, that supersedes the main event. That supersedes any title match, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. And I love the fact that they open it with both of them. with both Tanahashi and MJF, and obviously MJF in his little cheating tactic ways. People might say, oh, doesn't that make Tanahashi look weak? No, it doesn't.
No. Let me ask you this, though. With how MJF won it, though, obviously you just said, how it does make Tanahashi weak. But in essence, would that make MJF stronger then? Because he did defeat, you can sort of say, an icon in New Japan?
He could run with that by going along the path of, saying, like, I beat one of the greats in that, and mind you, before I say this next phrase, the back of his jacket.
Yeah.
That was freaking hilarious. Saying that New Japan is just another indie. That I popped on that one. But you can hear him go on the mic, going on the lines of, I just defeated one of the quote unquote top guys in that Japanese indie promotion known as New Japan for the Triple B, baby. Going like that.
I personally, I had no issues with the way they opened with it. I thought opening with that one was perfect because I think you also have to realize something. Had they not opened with that and they would have closed with that, you would have had to deal with a Canadian fan base that was sitting there for 3.5 hours. That would have been exhausted. So I think having them open was probably the smartest thing that Tony Khan could have done.
Yeah.
And I say smartest thing he could have done because there was an announcement made during the pay-per-view that we're going to get to in a bit that I think Tony Khan is a blooming idiot for doing. We'll get into that momentarily.
We will talk about that after we talk about Forbidden Door itself.
Yeah, that's what I said. After I said in a bit.
But you have to specify for some of our viewers and listeners.
Yes. But let's keep things moving here because the other big moment that we saw was not so much the match itself, but what happened after the match.
Well, first of all, CM Punk and Kojima, great match.
Yeah.
For the Overall Cup.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it really wasn't anything significant with that match. It was, to me, it was a good match, but it was really like, that was it. It was just a match.
I'm quickly going through, I know you said something different, but I'm quickly going through the card, in my opinion, because I have it right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
The International 4-Way? Holy shit.
I'm going to say this right now. To me, Orange Cassidy, of all the champions right now in any company, to me, Orange Cassidy has to be at the top of the list. That guy has defended his title, it seems like, week in and week out. Against some, I mean, he just defeated two of the biggest names, obviously two out of the biggest names from New Japan, and Zack Sabre Jr. and Shibata.
Which, by the way, this is his second time defeating Shibata.
It really serves you well when you sit there and say, yeah, one of the guys I defeated was Zack Sabre Jr.
And with this win, I think he went to 25-0 ever since he won the title.
I thought it was 25-0. Yeah, yep, you're
right. And then now we'll go into the next matchup, which was for the IWGP World Heavyweight Title, the current champion Sonata. Which, by the way, I love the new Sonata. I love it.
Well, did you hear the comment that he said going into that match?
Oh yeah, I did.
Where he turned, for people who are watching who may not have heard, Sonata turned around before the match and said, "Who's Jack Perry?" Honestly, this match, the more memorable part of this match was what happened after.
Yeah.
Which I definitely want to get into that because let me set it up. You got Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, and Hook walking up the ramp. They're doing the thing, and then all of a sudden, Jungle Boy decides to hit a lariat on Hook, essentially turning heel. And then you see him starts mimicking the crowd. The two things I noticed with that. First of all, I give Taz a shit ton of credit for how he handled it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was more of a, do you go and help being that he is your son, or do you be an announcer?
Yeah, he was like stuck between a rock and a hard place.
The part I'm curious to see, because this is the feud they're going with. It's going to be Jack Perry versus Hook for the FTW title more than likely.
And I have a feeling that they might actually give it to Perry.
Well, especially if the rumors are true that I'm hearing about WWE having interest in Hook. I told you the storyline I think they can go with, and I think it'd be a perfect storyline. The storyline that I was thinking, if they go with this one, is you got Jungle Boy coming out on Wednesday, Hook confronts Jungle Boy, and you see Jungle Boy turn around and go, "Look, I may have had a famous dad, but my dad never got me a title like your dad did. You only got that title because it was your daddy's." And then you could have Jungle Boy turn around and go, "I've had to work my way to get to where I am.
I wasn't handed anything."
Because then it gets interesting in one aspect. Because then, if Taz somehow gets involved in it, does he play the "I'm a wrestler, I can't interfere," or does he play the "that's my son, I have to help him"?
You know, and in reality, it all depends on what his health is like.
Well, I'm not saying I can't see him getting involved. Also we're going to see on Dynamite in 2 weeks Taz versus Jungle Boy, and I'm not expecting that.
No, but even so, like possibly him choking Jack Perry out. Who knows?
Well, I think the way you get him involved, it's very simple. You get them both up by the stage area, and you have Jungle Boy literally launch Hook into Taz.
Well, first of all, I think on Wednesday he's gonna drop the Jungle Boy shit.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be called Jungle Man.
Asshole, no.
No, he's probably just gonna be known as Jack Perry,
which is fine.
Because I could see him also turn around and going, "Oh, I've been Jungle Boy for so long, and look at what it's gotten me. It's gotten me nowhere."
Exactly.
They also, if Tony Khan is smart here, he also has to stop he also has to give him a new entrance music.
Seriously, anytime I either go to a store a bar, or just in my car, and I hear that song, I'm sitting there going,
"Oh, you're not sitting there. You're not sitting." Because okay, I'm gonna say this right now. When I'm in the car and I hear that song, I start doing the whoa whoa.
No, lately I've been hating that shit because it's overplayed.
Yeah, but most people, especially if you got younger generation fans, are not going to know that song.
But speaking of Larry, I want to quickly go back to Punk and Kojima because that shit was there was a sequence in that matchup that actually was fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many years ago, CM Punk and Samoa Joe did a sit down shoot interview, and Punk said along the lines of Kojima, lariat. So then all of a sudden, when it came to the time, Kojima's in the corner, and Punk is going, lariat, and then looks at the camera, Kojima. I'm like, that's fucking great. I love it. And the crowd was hating Punk.
Because you're not in Chicago.
I know.
Because it seems like only Chicago will cheer for Punk.
Well, yeah, but they got nothing else going on there. The Cubs haven't been relevant since 2016. The White Sox, they're still a team. The Bears, they haven't been relevant since 1985. And the Blackhawks, they keep choking every single year. And the Chicago Bulls haven't been relevant since Michael Jordan played for them. So, they really have nothing going on.
We're going to get to Chicago in a bit.
Oh, yes.
After we finish up in Canada.
Next matchup was the massive 10-man clusterfuck.
There's one moment I want to talk about with this match.
Ooh, I know what part you're talking about.
All of a sudden, you got Takeshita and Ishii in the ring. And all of a sudden, Takeshita goes to, I don't know if it was a regular punch or like a forearm even.
Forearm. It was a forearm.
Oh my God. And Ishii is a tough son of a bitch.
But holy shit, Takeshita's forearm, hell of a lot stronger than you think, especially the fact that I thought he was legitimately knocked out.
Well, yeah. And I think, honestly, Takeshita gets booked right. You could have an easy, I wouldn't say heel, because I mean, granted, yeah, he's going to be a heel no matter what. But you got a potential superstar there. Because what makes Takeshita good is he has the look, he has the it factor, and it also doesn't hurt the fact that, his manager is Don Callis. Let's call it what it is. I know people may have their issues with Don because, people think he's a scumbag. But to me, he's no idiot. He's been in this industry long enough that he knows how to get the right amount of heat for Takeshita. So,
sorry, go ahead.
There was one other moment I want to talk about this match. And that was the moment where literally you had the entire crowd in Toronto stand on their feet. When Kingston and Moxley got into the ring together. And I said this to you off air. Kingston, to me, recently is one of the best. I'm not even saying in-ring competitor-wise he's okay, but on the microphone,
oh, dude,
he's at a whole nother level. Yes, granted, could he afford, to have a salad? Yes, of course he could. But you know who else looked like the way who else looked like the way Kingston did? And he was beloved in the NWA back in the 80s? A little guy known as Dusty Rhodes. Again, I'm not saying that Kingston is going to be the next Dusty Rhodes. I'm not saying that. All I'm just saying is believability, because you got to remember when Dusty was in his prime, you had whatchamacallit. You had that believability. You knew damn well when he entered to the ring, either if it was to take on Harley Race or to take on Rick or whoever, you knew you were going to get a story. And then when he cut a promo, Ryan, we all know his famous promo, the Hard Times promo.
Oh yeah,
it was believable. There was a believability factor with that. Look, at Kingston's the same way. Kingston, to me, comes off as that guy who he's one of those guys he'll have your back no matter what, but the moment you screw him over, he won't let you forget.
Absolutely.
And do I think he should go after MJF? Honestly, no. And what I'm about to say may get me a little heat. Eddie Kingston, to me, should never go for a title.
He doesn't need it.
He's too over with the crowd. And for him, a belt would do nothing. What I would want from him, and I know Bully Ray was talking about this on Busted Open this past week, and I agree with him. I want Eddie to be more involved in personal storylines. Put him with Claudio. Put him with Moxley again. Let them tell a story. Especially the heat between Claudio and Eddie. Oof. You could easily... Because then ultimately what that would end up doing, not only would that make Kingston a mega babyface, but you're trying to book Claudio to be a massive heel with being with Blackpool Combat Club. Here's your opportunity right here. But what are your thoughts on Eddie?
No, I agree. He really doesn't need a title. He definitely needs to be involved in, personal storylines. And, yeah. But let's continue on with Forbidden Door. Quickly.
Yes.
The AEW Women's World Title match, Toni Storm over Willow, had a feeling, but wasn't that bad.
Did you hear the backlash that Toni Storm is getting right now?
No.
Apparently, when she was going back up the ramp with her, Saraya, and Ruby Soho, apparently the hot mic caught her saying that Willow Nightingale is a cow.
Oh, shit.
But apparently, where Tony's from, apparently it's a different meaning than what people think it is.
Yeah, because she's from...
Is she from Australia? Yeah, I think so. But honestly, the match was really nothing for nothing, in my opinion.
And not in order, but but not in order because there's one certain match I'm saving for last.
Okay.
So next up, the 6-man tag with the Jericho Appreciation Society, Jericho and Sammy Guevara, and some guy named Minoru Suzuki, taking on the team of Tetsuya Naito, Darby Allin, and some guy named Sting.
Yeah, what has he ever done?
Apparently he's gotten more over than you ever will in your lifetime, John.
Wow.
True.
But the only thing I noticed with this one, do you notice the rift between Sammy and Chris?
Yep.
I still think they're setting up. I really think they're setting up Sammy to turn face.
Oh, I think so too. And also, I said this to you a couple days ago. I have the perfect story of of how they can pull this off.
Okay.
Who else is in the JAS besides Sammy Guevara?
Ty.
So what? And who else is also in JAS?
Anna Jay.
And who is Anna J? Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jungle Boy.
No longer.
Jack Perry.
There you go. What if somehow you replace Sammy Guevara with Jericho, and have Jack go the whole rant of like Sammy and Ty think they were the cutest, they were the best couple in JAS? No. I'm sorry, Sammy. I'm just not my opinions. Just thinking off the fly here based off how many people have said it. Jack going, no. Let Sammy go off with that little ring ride and have that little bastard child, and let the real couple of AEW known as myself and Anna Jay take over the JAS.
Yeah, but here's my other thing now. Could Jack Perry do that on his own?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying on his own and not join JAS.
He could.
Because I still think at some point, JAS is going to break up.
I think so too.
Because eventually Chris is going to end up going on tour again with Fozzy.
Daniel Garcia, he can do well by himself.
All of them could do well by themselves. And I think the way you do that, I think you have Jack Perry and Anna Jay kind of become, kind of almost be what Sammy and Ty were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But have Jack Perry really turn around and go, oh, look, you guys, you guys get handed everything. I've had to work my way to get everything, and look at me now. I'm the top of this company. I have the girl. Play it off like that. Make them that will get them a lot of heat. I can guarantee you that.
I agree. Next match I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
That main event.
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, it really was the final countdown.
Which, from what I heard, that was only a one-time thing.
Yeah, because apparently the copyright for that costs just as much as a wrestler's contract. So no, thank you.
And I guess Tony is not so buddy-buddy like he is with Elton John.
No.
I mean,
wow. But also, 10 minutes into the match, Danielson breaks his arm, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, he still finished the fucking match.
Because everybody knew damn well that if he would have turned around and they would have thrown the X up right away, that would have been shitted on all fucking week by the IWC.
And Brian would not allow that.
No. And this is why what I said before about, when you close it, I know, and Ryan, you and I have had this argument before about, that, the World Heavyweight title should close out a show. You and I have had this argument hundreds of times already.
Unless you have a match of this caliber.
That's my point. Unless you have a match that on its own supersedes it. And how much bigger can you get than, I don't know, arguably one of the greatest North American wrestlers and one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers?
And history was made in this matchup for two reasons.
And that would be?
Number one, Bryan defeated Okada via submission, which means that for the first time since 2015, Okada lost by submission, which, by the way, in 2015, he lost the submission by Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, I did not know that.
And also, a Kazuchika Okada main event match that did not go 30 minutes.
How long did it end up going for?
27 minutes and 47 seconds.
Yeah. Honestly, that match, I'm just going to say this right now, that match could have gone 45 minutes.
I couldn't agree more. But now, the last match of the night, which wasn't the main event, but in some people's eyes it should have been. Just saying, just some people's eyes. For the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, it's Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega 2.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this right now. This match, to me, had everything. It had the storytelling. It had the drama. It had the moments where you didn't know who was going to win. It had everything in it. And folks, I don't think we can say it enough. If you did not get a chance, if you don't go back and watch the entire pay-per-view, at least do yourself the due diligence and go back and watch this match.
It was incredible.
And I don't know if you saw Will after the show when he did the media scrum.
I did.
And he already said that he's not going to be doing indie shows anymore. Or not anymore. Let me backtrack on that. That he will be slowing down on them. Because I think he wants to focus more on AEW and New Japan.
Now, and also, by the way, Will Ospreay winning the U.S. title, couldn't have asked for a better decision, honestly.
Oh, I completely agree. I think Kenny, you knew damn well him holding the title made no sense. He doesn't go to Japan that often.
Now, here's the $1 million question that's getting thrown around a lot by the IWC.
Okay.
Because both men have one win apiece against each other.
Okay.
When's the rubber match going to be happening?
All in.
No, I don't think so.
Well, when do you think it's going to be?
How about Wrestle Kingdom next year come full circle?
Yes, but okay, then
and the reason why I'm saying Wrestle Kingdom is because of the announcement that was made during Forbidden Door.
You want to get into that now?
Yeah, let's go into it. Should
Okay.
I explain or you know what? How about I explain and then I'll let you go full screen and let you go on your LaGreca rant.
Okay, go.
So, during Forbidden Door, it was announced, and the rumors are unfortunately true, that on Wednesday, I'm going to pull up my calendar here, Wednesday, August 30th, Saturday, September the 2nd, and Sunday, September the 3rd, AEW is going back home to the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, for the 27,000th fucking time. But wait, it gets even better. Because I don't care about, what happens on that Wednesday or Saturday, but that Sunday, though, is where a lot of people are going, what the ever-loving fuck. So on Wednesday, they're doing Dynamite and Rampage. Saturday is Collision and the Ring of Honor tapers beforehand. And Sunday, it's all out. John, this is your cue to go. Whoop.
Okay. When this was announced, I sort of kind of gave my rant to Ryan already, but I'll put it again. You're turning around and you're telling me that you have a show that's in London, okay, that is being held at Wembley Stadium in front of 70,000 or so, give or take. Ryan?
Actually, almost close to 80.
Okay, I think Ryan kind of throws out there for. Okay. Okay.
Almost close to 80,000.
Okay, 80,000 people, and you're basically going to turn. Mind you haven't even announced a goddamn match yet for all in. But then you're going to turn around and go, "Oh, we're going to do another pay-per-view a week later in Chicago." Why? There's no point to doing the show in Chicago. Not only are you slapping you're slapping the face of every fan who bought a ticket for your show in London, But you're also slapping the wrestlers in the face because you're basically telling them, okay, we're going to have you guys fly all the way to London. And then, oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to have you guys come back and do another show in Chicago. I don't understand the point of this. You don't have to do a fucking pay-per-view every time the WWE does one. You are allowed, WWE is allowed to have their own weekend. And I know there's been times where AEW has ran a show and WWE has decided to do a show. Okay, that I understand. But the difference is WWE didn't do a show right beforehand. And not only that, we're also forgetting this part of the equation. Why should I care that about the All In show? Because you know damn well Tony's not going to put any effort into that one because you got All Out the week later. The only way I think it can work out, the only logical way that it would be able to work out at all, is you make All In night 1, you make All Out night 2. And I think that's the only way you can do it. Sort of like what they're doing with Mania. If they're not and they do it as separate pay-per-views, then I don't know what this company is even doing anymore. And that's the best way I can put it. That is the best fucking way I can put it. Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay.
Full screen?
No.
Okay.
Why in the blue hell are they going back to Chicago, Illinois? Again.
Oh, I know why.
I know why too, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on this for now.
I was gonna say just because.
Well, I have my reasons apparently.
Oh, I know.
John, sorry, I have something else.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously, you have, like John said, your biggest fucking show to date, and you're treating it like a house show. Why? So you can swing your Jacksonville Jaguar dick around? Your Jacksonville dick around and say, hey, we can do a show Labor Day weekend too, not just WWE. Come on, people. I mean, right now the way that they're acting like a goddamn like it's the fucking Monday Night Wars all over again. Where when one company does something, which by the way they had it first. Then they go on and say, hold on. Like, we're gonna do this on your end tonight. Thank you, good night. Great show, great card. You guys are amazing. We have a home court here in Chicago, Illinois, my old hometown. Sorry, I was pulling off my inner TK. But no, it's like, seriously, like, what the hell? And also, those wrestlers can be fucking exhausted and jet-lagged.
Yeah.
Just think about this. You got Dynamite and Rampage. Dynamite and Rampage. Well, actually, Rampage might not even happen that week because they might just do a fucking 4-hour show of Collision and Dynamite back to back because they only got to fly over to fucking UK. So they can't do a show on Saturday live.
No.
Logistically, they can't.
No, they can't.
Unless somehow they do. Oh god, this is gonna sound really fucked up. Unless they do Raw, unless they do Dynamite and Rampage on Wednesday, and then Collision on Thursday. But still, even then, that's fucking overkill.
Aren't they doing that this week? Isn't Collision being taped Thursday in Hamilton?
Yeah, because I think they're doing I think they're doing a couple of house shows up there.
Yeah.
But they can get away with that because this is their Canadian tour.
Yeah.
But and then after doing All In, then you gotta fly back from the UK on Monday, mind you, to go back to Chicago and have the wrestlers be jet lagged as shit to do another Dynamite and Rampage, and then Collision and Ring of Honor, and then All Out, and like seriously, you're basically going from the US to the UK and back in less than a week.
I don't understand the point of that.
They could have easily just kept it as All In. That's it. No mas. But no. And to be quite honest, and this may get me chastised, but I feel like with this announcement and how they're going to how this pulling this off, this might kill AEW for a little bit.
Oh yeah, probably. Ryan, I'm going to have you continue the show by yourself for a few. Nature.
Okay. So, actually, it works out well because perfect. So, that's just my opinion about the whole thing with AEW and Chicago. And they gotta go to other places. I understand, they're trying to do the whole thing of, Chicago is, where Tony Khan used to be, live in and whatnot, but there's other cities out there. Hell, when I get East Franco, if they wanted to do something spectacular in the United States, and they're really, pulling this trigger, because they're doing All Out, I believe, at the United Center in Chicago, why not have them come back to New York and actually do that all-out weekend at the Mecca at the Garden, the real Mecca, mind you, not the one in Richfield Park, New Jersey, the real Mecca, Madison Square Garden. Here's how it would pan out, in my opinion. So, Wednesday, I can see them doing Dynamite at UBS in Belmont, New York, because hello, it's right there. And that one would be different. That one would be Dynamite and Collision, because then you have the whole thing with FanFest, and they can easily do FanFest. I mean, they can easily do FanFest at I'm trying to think off the top of my head here. At you know what? Let's say the theater in Madison Square Garden. They did it when New Japan was there. When New Japan G1 Supercard of Honor was there. And also, speaking of Honor, they have Ring of Honor too. So they could easily do Ring of Honor down the road at Hammerstein Ballroom, just for that little nostalgia feel. And then Sunday would be All Out at the Mecca at Madison Square Garden, where they can easily sell that out in a heartbeat. But no, they have to go back to Chicago, Illinois, and it's because, again, Chicago has nothing else to cheer for. But anyway, while John is away taking care of some business, for Forbidden Door, there was a 0-hour pre-show, mind you. One of the matches that was supposed to be scheduled for Forbidden Door, unfortunately, had to be canceled last minute. And that was supposed to be Filthy Tom Lawler versus Adam Cole. And unfortunately, Adam Cole is fighting the flu. So, unfortunately, the day of, they pulled his match. But they didn't screw over Tom Lawler, because before they went on the air, Tom Lawler was in a match against Serpentico in a dark match. At least they utilized him. Which, of course, Tom Lawler won because Serpentico, Then we go, now we go on to the Forbidden Door 0-hour matches. First off, in 8-man tag team action, you had the Mogul Embassy, which is Bishop Khan, Brian Cage, Swerve Strickland, and Toa Leona with personal friend of mine, Prince Nana. Taking on the Team of Chaos, which is Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero, and El Desperado. It was a good match, a good 8-man tag match. And then it was the second women's quarterfinal match in the Owen Hart Foundation 2023 Cup, which, mind you, on Rampage on Friday, Sky Blue defeated Anna JAS to advance to the semifinals in the first quarterfinal match. And this one was Athena taking on Billy Starks, who was officially signed by AEW, by the way. And Athena was victorious over Billy Starks. But very happy for Billy getting this opportunity. She's only 18 years old. She graduated high school with I kid you not, a 4.17 GPA with honors, valedictorian. Absolutely incredible. Just an amazing story to hear that. Next up at singles action, it was Stu Grayson of the Dark Order, so we still know, taking on El Phantasmo. Which, ironically, it was basically two Canadians facing each other on this pay-per-view. Because Stu Grayson is from Quebec, and El Phantasmo is from Vancouver. So technically, it was really more of an East versus West battle going, which the West won with El Phantasmo defeating Stu Grayson. Then, in 6-man tag team action, which obviously you can see this at any New Japan show, which I'm not complaining. It was great. You had the team of the United Empire, which is Kyle Fletcher, Jeff Cobb, and TJP, which I completely forgot he was a part of that stable, taking on the team of Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Shingo Takagi, a.k.a. Los Ingobernables de Japón, which LIJ was victorious. So all in all, Forbidden Door was a good amount. Like, especially the pre-show was pretty good. And Forbidden Door, again, folks, my personal match picks, definitely the AEW International 4-Way, the 10-man tag team match, the main event with Bryan Danielson and Kazuchika Okada, and the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship, which that one went almost 40 minutes, which is kind of low for a Kenny Omega match. Trying to see if there's anything else going on. I know, and speaking of New Japan, I know they have a massive couple of shows next week in Japan. New Japan Strong, excuse me, where at Corrigan Hall on the 4th and the 5th, a massive double-day event, which actually, I can tell you quickly some of the matches. Excuse me. On day one, which takes place on July 4th, in 6-man tag team action, it's Dragon Libre, Kengo, and Takahiro Katori taking on Oscar Lube, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Yo. In singles action, you have the DKC versus Bad Dude Tito. In 6-man tag team action, you have Ryohei Oiwa, I apologize if I butchered his name, Lance Archer, and Alex Zane taking on Team Filthy, which is Jarrell Nelson, J.R. Kratos, and Royce Isaacs. And speaking of Team Filthy, hello, John. We have Kosei Fujita taking on Filthy Tom Lawler. I'm killing time by talking on because apparently New Japan next week has 2 big events happening in Japan with New Japan Strong Independence Day 2023 days 1 and 2. So going over the card.
Yeah, and then after that we'll get into some independent talk.
Absolutely. And also, I went over with the fans, talking about my opinion, especially what I told you about how they can easily done all out at Madison Square Garden that entire week.
Hey, the way a lot of stuff we've been talking about on the show ends up coming to fruition, you never know.
Well, especially the fact that I kind of suggested with Rampage, not even do Rampage at all. Maybe do that as like a special thing on whatever. Do excuse me. Do Dynamite and Collision at UBS.
Yeah, I can see that. But let's finish up with the New Japan stuff before we head over.
In tag team action, you have the Bullet Club, Gato and Kenta taking on Rocky Romero and Eddie Kingston. For the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team titles, the current champions, Bishamon, which is Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, taking on the Bullet Club War Dogs, which is Gabe Kidd and Alex Coughlin. In a Doomsday no disqualification tag team match, you have the team of Jun Kasai and El Desperado taking on Jon Moxley and Homicide.
Oof.
And for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles, the current champions Catch-22, which is the team of Francesco, Akira, and TJP, taking on the Bullet Club War Dogs members Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney. That's just night 1. Now here's night 2. So, in 6-man tag team action, you have Master Wato, Oleg Bolton, and Taguchi taking on Dragon Libre, Rekka, and Takahiro Katori. In singles action, you have Oscar Lube taking on J.R. Kratos. Tag team action, the team of Rocky Romero and Yo, representing Chaos, taking on Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney, representing the Bullet Club War Dogs. In 6-man tag team action, Team Filthy, which is Jarrell Nelson, Royce Isaacs, and Filthy Tom Lawler, taking on the DKC, Tomohiro Ishii, if he can finally regain consciousness after that forearm from Takeshita, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. In tag team action, you have Alex Zane and Lance Archer taking on Kosei Fujita, and Bandu Tito, a.k.a. TMDK. In tag team action, you have Rohei Oiwa, I think that's his name, and Homicide taking on Catch-22, which is Francesco Akira and TJP. Who knows if they retain their tag titles? It could be a tag title match. But speaking of the tag titles, for the IWGP tag team titles, also tag team champions Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi taking on Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd, the Bullet Club War Dogs. Oh God, these last two matches.
Okay.
El Desperado takes on Jon Moxley in a final death match.
Okay.
And for the New Japan Strong Openweight title, the current champion Kenta takes on Eddie Kingston.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Again, folks, July 4th and July 5th, exclusively on NewJapanWorld.com. It is New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Independence Day 2023.
Yeah.
And also coming soon. Actually, we'll talk more about that when it gets closer to it. We got the G1 Climax starting up soon.
Oh crap! More wrestling.
With quite possibly one of the greatest faction group of people in a tournament in a long time, especially for a G1 Climax.
We'll definitely get into that later on, but Ryan, I think it's safe to say we're going to take a step away from the pro wrestling world for a little bit and talk about the world that you and I love so much, and that would be the world of independent wrestling.
I mean, it's still technically pro wrestling, asshole.
But it's indie wrestling.
It's better.
Oh, I completely agree. Let me start off with what happened on Saturday for Pro Wrestling Magic. They had their I guess you call it mid-season finale with closing time. And I gotta give Smiley and Steve Wolf a crap ton of credit here. The names they're coming up with for these shows.
Yeah.
And especially how in the beginning they have, after they do the video package, you see Shane in the ring in the arena, and I say arena, it's Ridgeville Park. It's the Knights of Columbus. They're actually playing the song. So on Saturday we heard closing time, and I kid you not, everybody in that who was there took out their phones and started doing the started doing this. Yes. It was a interesting show, to say the least. Let me put it that way. The biggest moments for me from that show was what happened with the tag titles, because originally it was supposed to be the Pro Wrestling Magic tag titles and the IWTV tag titles were on the line, with Miracle Generation taking on Bruno and Tella, also known as Death Row. All of a sudden, the Rep come in and interfere. Sets up a match between the Rep and Death Row for their September show. However,
what's the name of that show?
Take on Me, I think. Yeah, Take on Me.
Take on Me.
I'm just gonna say this much though, and I said this to you beforehand. I think they're setting something up for all three of those teams at Kingdom Come. Because the one thing I give Pro Wrestling Magic a lot of credit on is when they want to tell a story, they tell a good-ass story. Case in point, look what they did last year with Espados Unidos and Death Row. And who ended up coming out on top? Death Row. So with this one, I think you could set something up where it's a triple threat match I don't know which titles will be on the line, but I could see it being a triple threat match between the Rep, Miracle Generation, and Death Row. I could easily see that. In women's action, Vicious Vicky was able to not only retain her BCW World Heavyweight title, BCW Women's title, my apologies, against Zeta Steel, but she also advanced closer to getting the keys to the Queendom. I want to specify Queendom here. Overall, I mean, it was a great show. Overall, top to bottom was a great show. Obviously, opening the show, you had Smiley taking on Steve Off, where you had not only the Tri-Wizards title and the Dark Arts title, but you also had the American Luchador title from Funhouse. We're all on line. And basically now, Smiley now has all three of those titles. And the one thing I will say is I love what they're doing with Smiley right now, as far as giving him like this power trip almost, and having all the power go to his head. But they did tease a potential opponent for Smiley down the road.
Oh?
And it's somebody, Ryan, you know quite well.
Who could that be?
The All-Father, Darius Carter.
Ah, yes.
Who made his return by basically kidnapping Trixie. Let's just call it what it is. Overall, top to bottom, fantastic card. I mean, yeah, there was a few wonky spots, especially the guy with the cookies. I thought that was a little wonky. But overall, I mean, it was another great show for Magic. Definitely, if you missed it and you were not there, go to IWTV.com probably within the next couple of days, and you can definitely watch a replay of it. If you have not signed up yet for IWTV, what are you waiting for? Use code MAGIC when you sign up for it. Because, I mean, Ryan, you have IWTV, right?
Of course I do.
And how much is it? $9.99. Good, Ryan.
I don't remember how much I paid for it.
My point is this: if you're a fan of independent wrestling, you get everything on IW. Right now, to me, the two biggest streaming networks for independent wrestling is IWTV and Title Match Network.
Yeah,
those two are the premier ones.
More so IWTV. Just saying.
You see what I did there? I said I did premiere.
I know you did, and premiere's coming right up.
Yeah. But no, I thought overall great show. Ryan, from what you saw, because I know you had said you had seen some of it live.
I saw some of it.
What did you think from what you saw of it live?
So from what I saw, definitely a great opener with Steve Off and Smiley. Called it on the outcome too.
Yes, you did.
Pacifico and Azrael again called it on the outcome, but I love the match, by the way. Those two, I would love to see those two go at it again.
Absolutely.
And Death Row and Miracle Generation, great matchup.
Yes, and we also have to send. You talked about Death Row. I totally forgot. We had to send a happy birthday.
Yes. From us here at the Around Rose podcast, we like to wish one half of the Pro Wrestling Magic World Tag Team Champions, Bruno and also Blanco himself, a very happy birthday. I think he's 28 today. I think
28 and can still kick anybody's ass.
Absolutely.
You don't want to piss him off.
No.
Let's get to the bloodbath on Bergen Avenue. Oh, no, sorry, I meant NFW / Invictus. And Ryan, I'll say this much, and I'll let you get into it in a second because I know you were the ring announcer for it. I thought the second half of that show was 10 times better than the first half. I'm just being straightforward right now. I don't know if you agree with me, you want to kill me, or what.
Well, I'm waiting until you're done so I can actually say my part on the show.
The one match I will say that did it for me, and I actually had to move my seat for it, was Akira taking on Ellis Taylor. And a grudge, no DQ, let's destroy Knights of Columbus building.
No. You're saying it wrong. It's a no DQ grudge match.
Translation, destroy the building.
Pretty much shit hit the fan.
Between this match and then you had PJ Savage taking on Face.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just gonna mention the one spot in the match that I thought was fantastic. the spear through the fire door.
Are
But
you gonna let the announcer of the show actually talk about the show itself?
go ahead.
Thank you. Listen, I didn't interrupt you during Pro Wrestling Magic. Now it's not, but now you're cutting into my time. Come on.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Thank you. Jesus, Maddie and Joseph.
They're not here at the moment. Please leave a message after the beep.
This is what happens when it's John Blaine and the team.
Go on.
That's what I should have put at the bottom.
Go on.
So for those that don't know what the hell we're talking about, Invictus Pro Wrestling, one of the companies I announced for, teamed up with NFW, also known as Northern Federation of Wrestling, in a massive dual joint event called Northern Conquest, live from the Mecca in Richfield Park, New Jersey, where we had some matches from NFW and some matches from Invictus. I'm gonna quickly go through in order, just so quickly.
Okay.
So we open things up with one half of the NFW Tag Team Champions, Dante Drago, saying that unfortunately his tag partner, Jack Tomlinson, could not be there because they were supposed to be in a tag title match against the Rep. And unfortunately, not going to get into much detail right now, but Jack Tomlinson is going through some personal issues right now. And just want to say on air, Jack, I know what you're going through. And just know that, I have nothing but love and respect for you. And you have my number, dude. You have my number. Do not hesitate to reach out. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to get into detail what happened, but just so you know, I'm right there. I'm right there by your side, buddy. So anyway, so Dante comes out, and then the Rep comes out, starts beating down. All of a sudden, here comes Tulpa from CCW making an appearance, and it turns into an impromptu tag match, which the Rep was victorious. Then the next matchup, it was the smooth superhero Monte Kia versus the Renaissance Nikolai White, with making a in-ring officiating return, the first time in well over 3 years. My good buddy, good friend, Mr. Alphonse Stevens. And let's just say, as some people are calling it, the screw job, the Richfield Park screw job, because, oh boy, Nikolai White was victorious over Monte Kia in a very quick 3 count.
Yes.
Next up, we had the women's champion defending the title against Kelsey Reagan. Good matchup between the two of them, which Clara Carreras was victorious.
Mm-hmm.
Then was the no DQ grudge match.
Hold on. Can we just call it a no DQ match?
No, it was no technicality.
Shut up.
It was a no DQ grudge match. That's how it was. That's how it was advertised, and that's exactly what I said on the mic.
Yes.
These two went at it back and forth, back and forth. I never see, and mind you, we saw a lot of steel chairs actually get bent.
At one point, I became part of the match.
You did?
You don't remember this part?
No.
Okay. Do you remember when when they both were out of the ring and they're by the stage area?
Yeah.
And Akira decided, I think it was Akira started to throw some of the fans into Ellis Taylor.
You got thrown?
No, God, no. The stage wouldn't be standing if I got thrown into Ellis Taylor. No, there was at one point where Ellis Taylor went to go, where Akira and Ellis were both on the ground. Akira stood up. I don't know if they got it on camera. And they ended up, I ended up helping Akira up.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
That doesn't count because you're not Mikey Mittens. You didn't get thrown into Ellis Taylor. and then next up after intermission was, if the building was since the building was barely standing at that one, well, I think the building is now no longer there after this matchup, as it was a Falls Count Anywhere Jersey street fight.
Oh God, you mean the bloodbath on Bergen Avenue?
Oh yes, where basically the fire door got busted.
Literally.
And I'm so pissed I missed that, but it's okay because I can go back and watch it on IWTV.
Yes.
And then after that, it was a tag team action as CXR, which is Chael Connors and TJ Epics, took on the Slime Balls in a very good tag team matchup, if I do say so.
One thing I was going to say about this, I actually said this to TJ afterwards. As far as the tag team match goes, I love the chemistry with both of those teams.
I would love to see that again.
I absolutely I give both those teams a lot of credit because when you think of tag team wrestling, especially in the Northeast, you think of obviously the teams like you mentioned before, Miracle Generation, the Rap. Those are the bigger names that you think of.
Brick City Boys.
Brick City, yeah, exactly. But you look at a team with CXR with TJ, and who was his partner again? I forgot.
Chael Connors.
They are one of, I'm going to say this right now, probably one of the most underrated tag teams out there. And obviously, Slime Balls, we've seen in action plenty of times, especially living out here on Long Island.
And a little known fact, CXR is from the Buffalo area.
Yes.
And you know how those Buffalo boys are up there. Next up in our in our first of double main event, for the NSW Championship, the current champion, Brett Ryan Gosselin, took on the Silver Sniper, TJ Crawford, which, first of all, as you heard John say earlier in regards to, what happened in Pro Wrestling Magic with the light, well, apparently the same thing happened that night with Brett Ryan Gosselin's entrance theme, which, by the way, he comes out to Sweet Victory from the SpongeBob series.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie, I actually had to tell a few fans because they had lighters going on. I said, no, turn that off.
And when you first did that, I thought because when you did that, you were looking at me.
I was doing it to the guy next to you.
Yeah, but the way you were looking at me like I was doing something wrong. I'm like, what did I do?
You were literally right next to him. We already had the discussion. It's over. Now we move on.
Yes.
Then we go into our main event. And holy shit, I'm surprised I can still talk after this matchup.
Oh, yes. Bougie and, yeah.
Hold on. I gotta do this whole intro correctly.
Oh, crap.
He is, first of all, the challenger who is the babyface douchebag, the business, Billy Dixon, as he took on the individual who is really real in real life, Mr. PWI 485. He is the true king of New York and is the current reigning defending Invictus Pro Wrestling social media champion, Jay Bougie, and John looks like he saw a ghost right now.
No, because somebody just made a comment.
What?
No, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad, but basically it was just this.
Well, hopefully soon I'll get a... Dude,
it's being...
a work in progress.
Yeah, it's going to... Don't worry. When we get to the announcements, that's going to be part of the announcements.
Oh, boy.
Right, I told you, but let's finish up with this.
First of all, Jay Bougie choked me out. You know this.
I know.
And of course, I saw John in the corner going, yes, choke him out. That made the show is all mine. The show is all mine.
No, honestly, at one point in that match, I'm just going to say this right now, I felt like, especially Sunday in that building, there was no safe area to be in that building.
Oh, hell no. Your best bet of safety was probably going down the block to 7-Eleven.
Or actually, I was going to say being on the stage, but even the stage, you had some of the action there too.
That's what I said, down the block.
Yes, 7-Eleven has good food, by the way.
It depends on what you get.
Yeah. But let me ask you this, though. Out of all the matches on Sunday, I know you weren't there Saturday, so I can't ask you about Saturday, but in regards to Sunday, you had to pick one match to be your favorite match.
Fuck, really?
What would it be? Because I'll tell you mine, and it's very cut and dry and very simple.
Matches 4 through 8.
I said you had to pick one.
I can't.
Oh, I could easily pick one. Very easily.
I know you can, because you already told me what it is.
Yeah, and I'll explain why. Alice Taylor and Akira. because that had the storytelling, that had the moments. What I also liked with that match is they didn't try to shove so much in to a 20-minute match. They let things marinate, which you don't see that a lot right now in pro wrestling.
No, especially with this feud that's been going on for, I think, 8 months.
And what I also like is they told the story. You had two guys, because I think if I remember correctly, I think the setup for this match was actually done at the anniversary show when Ellis screwed Akira out of the title. When he lost it to Brett Ryan Gosselin.
Mm-hmm.
So the story going into it was Akira was pissed off that he got screwed out of his title. So you already had the emotional part of it in there. And to be honest, I think realistically, probably one of the best independent wrestling matches I've ever seen.
Especially the finish where Ellis Taylor is choking out Akira with the chair.
Yes. Yes, and I still have the images in my head of that ladder bending.
But again, folks, you can watch that entire match as well as Pro Wrestling Magic and the rest of that Northern Conquest card on IWTV, which I think is coming out hopefully before the end of the week. And also, quick little plugs here. On Friday, August the 4th, Invictus Pro Wrestling returns to the Bronx Brewery.
Yes.
With We Outside.
All right. Hold on. Are you sure we outside?
Shut up.
Are you sure about I was saying, you sure about that?
You get. That's what you get.
Are you sure about that?
Shut up.
Can I tell that story?
Do it, and I will freaking kick your ass. Okay,
I won't tell the story then.
Good.
If you send me $20 on PayPal, then I'll tell you the story.
You fucking hoe.
Dude, hold on. Dude, it was funny what happened.
It was a long fucking day. I wasn't technically, the correct term, by the way, I was only scheduled to do 4 matches out of the, 10, including 2 in the pre-show. But then, unfortunately, the NFW announcer had to bail due to family emergency, which is totally understandable. So I got pulled in doing 8 matches in total, which is way above what I was contractually obligated to do.
Yeah, but right, I'm just gonna tell you this though. The moment, it was a funny ass moment.
I'm getting heat for it by people who are whiter than me.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. If that was something I would have done in the ring, you would have been chastising me up and down the East Coast. Let's call a spade here, dude.
No, I wouldn't actually. I really wouldn't.
I'm not trying to do it to make fun of you. I'm talking about it because it was a funny. Okay, you want another funny moment of yours from Invictus?
Sure.
Because I still remember that one vividly.
Sure.
The show you guys did the end of the year.
I say, jump on it.
Right, you have to realize you're allowed to have fun at these shows. And I understand it was a long day. Trust me. I am fully aware of that.
And also, I was dying in my suit.
Well, yeah, there's that. But my point...
Yeah, they had the air conditioner on, but we had fucking lights.
But my point is this, though, Ryan.
Okay, you know what? I'll tell the story.
Go ahead.
So, mind you, I was never actually told of the name of the actual show itself. So that one I blame management on. Because the last thing I remember saying, was we gonna be outside.
Yes.
Yeah, I said it like that. Not the way that, management claims I said, because obviously they have too much white shit coming out of their ears. Or one of them was too busy getting drunk. Just kidding. He wasn't getting drunk. But apparently they kept busting my ball. They busted my balls after I said the yesterday. The show was called We Outside. I'm like, shut up. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
So anyway, August 4th, Bronx Brewery. Invictus Pro Wrestling returns. Where it's gonna be. Oh.
Oh shit! I did not know that.
Oh wow.
David, I'm sorry to hear that. By the way, David, hopefully you can stick around later because I'd love to get your predictions as well on Money in the Bank since it is in your backyard. But let's get back. I'm just gonna say this right now. I thought the show was great. I'd also just like to make a quick programming note as well. In the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a YouTube exclusive being dropped with myself, Ryan, and another good friend of ours as we give our awards for the first half of 2023 in regards to the independent wrestling scene. Basically, the categories are going to be as follows. I know it's supposed to come out as male superstar of the year, but it's going to be for the half year. So it's going to be male superstar, female superstar.
Hold on. I wasn't done with my announcements, dude.
Sorry, go ahead.
Way to cut the gun there, buddy.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is what happens when you're part of the team.
Well, also you kind of froze there for a second, so I don't know if you were kept going.
Well, I froze because I was reading something and I was reading Dave's comment.
Go ahead.
I was going to talk about NFW's next show, which is on Friday, September the 1st, as they present Summer Haze at the Mecca in Richfield Park, New Jersey. That was it.
Oh, okay. So going back to what I was saying about the programming note, we are going to have our half-year independent awards show happening.
Yes.
The categories are going to be as follows: male superstar, female superstar, tag team, show, and match. So definitely stay on the lookout for that. And also stay on the lookout as we have some interviews coming up as well with a lot of guys from the independent scene. So you're not going to want to miss that at all.
And the way that it's going to be picked, the way that this is going to be picked is not by, just in general, but based off what we have seen.
Yes, that's the only stipulation is for any of the three of us who are going to be on for that one. You either have to have seen it live, or not live, but you have to either have seen it on IWTV/Title Match Network or be live at the venue for it. I think that's very simple enough to put it.
Agreed.
Also want to talk briefly about what shows are coming up towards the end of this month, because it was announced that next Friday, and I actually want to pull up the tournament quickly while we talk about it. Originally, ISPW was set to have a show next Friday in West Milford, New Jersey, at St. Joseph's Church Parish Hall. The main event was supposed to be Rick Recon defending his title in a dog collar match against Bull James, with Dave LaGreca in Rick's corner and Maven in Bull James's corner. Unfortunately, it was reported earlier today. Rick put it out, and then Tommy Fierro kind of reiterated it. Rick is actually going to be taking a step away from the independent wrestling world for the time being. So, first of all, from everybody here at the Around the Ropes podcast, Rick, you definitely earned it, and can't wait to see you when you come back. Ryan, what are your thoughts on the whole thing with Rick before we get into the tournament part?
No, I couldn't agree more. Let's get into the tournament.
Absolutely. It was announced it's going to be an 8-man tournament where the winner will be crowned your new ISPW World Heavyweight Champion. Here's the list as follows. Bull James takes on Justin Carino. TJ Epics takes on Joey Ace. Leo Sparrow takes on Vinny Pacifico. And Crowbar takes on Richard Holiday. I'm just going to say this right now. I don't think I've seen a more loaded tournament than this when it comes to independent wrestling.
I agree.
Now, the names I mentioned, right? If you had to pick one person to win the whole thing, who are you picking?
Oof.
Now, I think realistically, I think you've worked with every one of these guys already.
I'm going to pull up the card one more time so I can take a better look at this.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, guys, this show is happening Friday, July 7th at 7:30 at St. Joseph's Church Parish Hall in West Milford, New Jersey. You can definitely get your tickets on ISPW Wrestling website, or just go to any of the ISPW social media accounts, and you can get your tickets there. Ryan, did you pull the card up?
I did, and yeah, you're right. I have worked with every single person here.
But now, who do you think can win this whole thing?
Oof. I got a couple of picks.
Okay.
One of them, I could see Crowbar.
Okay.
Actually, I got 3 picks. I got 3. Crowbar and
Okay.
Wanda.
Yeah.
I could see a wild card and Leo Sparrow.
Okay.
And if they really, really want to pull a wild card, Richard Holiday.
I think with this tournament, what makes this tournament so tough, in my opinion, any of these guys could easily win this thing.
It's tough.
Like, I remember I was talking to TJ after the show on Sunday, and we were talking about the spot at the Total a Day show where you had Rick, Vicky, GKM, and him in the ring, and he was telling me how he was looking around going, crap, I'm the only one in the ring right now without a belt. So here's his opportunity. I mean, granted, yeah, it's probably not the way any of these guys wanted to win the belt, but if I had to give my prediction, I think you can go one of 2 ways here. I agree with you about Crowbar, and I think if they go Crowbar, you can easily relive him and Recon. Those guys, and I've been to 2 of their matches already, Crowbar and Rick Recon. Yeah, because I was there at the show that they did in Avenel, I think it's called, in the steel cage, and then I was at their match they had at 80s WrestleCon, and those guys told the story. Oh no! Shake that. My bad. They didn't have a match at 80s WrestleCon. Rick took on Bull James. So when did he? I don't remember the other, but I've seen. Oh, that I saw the first Crowbar Recon match that they did on that Rob Williams posted through ISPW's website. I think if you want to go another way, I think you could also go TJ Epics here. Let him, and that's what makes it very difficult, is you can make the argument for any of these guys. And again, guys, like I said before, this show's happening Friday, July 7th at 7:30, West Milford, New Jersey, at the St. Joseph's Church Parish Hall. Also want to make a quick mention as well, next Saturday, Immortal Championship Wrestling makes their infamous return. I think I actually have the poster for that. And why, yes, I do. You see, I come prepared.
Oh, of course you do.
Right, I am. Wow. Guys, that's the information for Immortal. It happened in July 8th, Cobleskill, New York, Cobleskill Fairgrounds. There's your information. Doors open at 6. Start time is 6:45. If you want to get your tickets, go to immortalwrestling.com. Front row seats are sold out. I know you can. Last I checked, I know you can still get second row seats and third and general admission as well. They did announce some of the matches. We're going to see Lindsay Dorado takes on Sean Carr. You have Garrett Holiday taking on AW's own Matt Taven. Obviously, if you missed the Garrett Holiday interview that I just did, go back to our YouTube page and definitely watch it there. We go into that match in a lot of detail. In a dog collar match, you have Chip Stenson taking on his son, Steven, I think it is.
Okay.
I think it's his name. I could be wrong. All I know is it's father versus son. You also have a triple threat match between Richie the Man, Sergeant Fury, and Bobby Bates. And it was just announced earlier today, former Immortal Championship Wrestling Women's Champion Kayla Sparks, unfortunately coming off of a incredible loss at the hands of Becca at the last show, and then her historical run as Women's Champion, will be taking on Nikki Duke, making her Immortal Championship Wrestling debut. So you're not going to want to miss that, folks. And, of course, we will definitely talk about that one after that show is done. But like I said, and then, of course, you have Titan coming up as well. You also have Creative Pro Wrestling the end of the month. You also have Win at the end of the month. So you've got a lot of independent wrestling coming up in the next couple of weeks. And folks, and the one thing with the companies that we talk about on this show, I mean, Ryan, you can attest to this as well. We talk about the companies that are doing well. And by doing well, I mean doing well in the in-ring stuff.
Well, since we're talking about that, I want to talk about a couple other events that are happening later on in July that you can still get tickets for.
Okay.
Because, well, I will be there. On Saturday, July 29th, Wrestling Is Now returns to the Mecca with another historic night as they will have an eight tag team tournament to crown the inaugural Win Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
And then the following day, it's Creative Pro Wrestling on July 30th. John.
Hold on. I mentioned both of these shows.
Yeah, you mentioned after I call you out on it.
I mentioned it before you started mentioning them.
Well,
I said Titan, that you have Creative Pro to close out the month, and you have Win also to close out the month.
Well, I'm getting into more detail.
Okay.
So, that looks so wrong. That looks like you're looking at the thing behind you.
Oh, you mean that?
That thing.
That actually lights up, by the way.
Oh, God.
Hold on. Oh, wait. Is it plugged in? Hold on. Oh, no, it is plugged in.
This is what happens when you don't let monkeys run the asylum.
Why are we talking about... Okay, hold on. There you go. Look, it lit up.
Oh, my God.
Hold on. Can you see it?
We can see it, John.
I think...
But yes, with Creative Pro Wrestling, it's, as they call it, the Battle of the Gays, as the dime-piece Aaron Rourke takes on Effie.
Yeah.
So definitely get into NLB and Lynbrook, and I think from what I hear, that one's going to be an outdoor event as well, weather permitting, of course.
Absolutely. Why? It won't be fun to go to a wrestling show and have it be downpour and rain? Wow, Ryan. I'm joking. Okay, guys, while Ryan is doing whatever he's doing right now, if you guys are interested in coffee, you can definitely go buy our coffee, Motor Oil Coffee right here. Motor Oil Coffee. Around the Ropes Coffee, brought to you by our friends at Motor Oil Coffee. You definitely want to get it because, it smells so good. But yes, guys, definitely, if you'd like to buy a bag of our coffee, you definitely can. Hit us up on any of our social media accounts. Just go to, if you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on whatever, search for us under the Round Ropes Podcast. Shoot us a message, and we can definitely get you guys some of these bags. The only thing we do ask is that you provide us your zip code so we can give you guys a proper shipping and all that fun stuff. But Ryan, you can come back on. Okay, I don't know what Ryan is doing right now. But while we're waiting for him, like I said, folks, like I said, you got a lot of independent wrestling coming up. You got Immortal, you got Titan, you got Creative Pro, you got Win. All that's fun stuff's coming up. Then you got some shows coming up in August as well. Also, forgot to mention also, if you're up in the upstate area, like Binghamton, that area, Excite Wrestling is doing their Battle of New York this weekend. So you're not going to want to miss that. It's the top 8 or 12 guys from the New York area battling it out. It's a 2-night event. Night 1 is Friday night, and then night 2 is Saturday at the Oakdale Commons. Hi, Ryan. Welcome back.
It's a 16-person tournament.
Okay, I was a little off.
And it's not the Battle of New York. It's Battle New York.
Okay, Battle New York. I apologize. Oh, crap. Hold on. Come on. Okay, good. Folks, there we go.
And also on this night, on night 2, unfortunately, it's also going to be the last night that Excite Wrestling is going to be taking place at their home at Oakdale Commons, due to apparently the mall asking for way too much money.
Yes.
And also on
You want to get
September
some WWE?
17th, Sunday, September 17th, it was just announced earlier today that one of the other companies I announced for WrestlePro is returning to the Broadway Rec Center for a very special Sunday event.
Yes. Yes. And folks, you're not going to want to miss any of these independent shows because you got all that. You got other shows coming up as well. Like I said, I know Excite's doing a 3-day festival, however you want to call it, August 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You got, I know Immortals doing another show in the middle of August, their 30th show. And then I know you also have, obviously, you have the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame as they're doing their Hall of Fame inductions the end of August. So, folks, you're not going to want to miss any of this stuff. And we'll keep you guys posted on our social medias as far as any of the independent stuff happening in the great New York area. But let's keep things moving here because we do got some WWE to get to, unfortunately. And why don't we just go right into our predictions for Money in the Bank?
Sure. For those that have been living under a rock for the last, I would say month and a half, 2 months or so, this Saturday, for the first time in a long time, Money in the Bank is going overseas to the United Kingdom.
Wait, there's a pay-per-view this weekend? I did not know.
It's not a pay-per-view. It's a premium live event.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, yeah. I'm waiting to get my prediction for the men's.
Oh, God. So, allow me to pull up the card quickly, if that is, okay with you. Sir John, courtesy of the team.
Oh, Jesus, Mother Mary, Joseph, yes!
Sorry, they're not here at the moment.
Ay, Maron.
Let's see. Where the bloody hell are you? Here we go.
Why are you sounding British?
Shillelagh.
I said British, not Irish.
I will say, though, last night's Raw, the segments sucked. The segments were terrible. But some of the matches were pretty solid. Including Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura, Gunther versus Sami Zayn, Finn Balor versus Carmelo Hayes, and Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest.
Yes. All of them were good. It got you hyped for Saturday, but let's get into what's happening Saturday because I got a few predictions that are going to shock people.
Okay, where the hell are you? Here we go.
I'm here.
So we have 7 matches scheduled for Saturday.
I thought you were about to say scheduled for one fall.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are scheduled for one fall.
One fall!
and that's basically times that by maybe 100, and that's John and a mini golf course. 100 falls.
First matchup on the docket.
In singles action, the American Roller Coaster taking on Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic Mysterio gets the win.
Ooh, really?
Yes, because I think what you do is you have Dom get the win. You get put more down into Cody, really push him down to, because essentially what they're doing with him is they're doing what they did with Dusty. In essence.
If that's the case, I have a feeling. I think Dominic might win. However, by DQ.
All right, we got another. Actually, Ryan, not to cut you off there for a second. We got another comment coming in from our buddy David, who says, "I'm hoping WWE doesn't drop the ball and listen to the fans for a change by having LA Knight. Yeah, win the men's Money in the Bank match. I think Trish could possibly win the women's, then end up in a rivalry with Zoe Stark further down the line." Not a bad prediction, David. We're gonna get to those two momentarily because people are gonna laugh at who I have winning the men's. But Ryan, who do you have winning Cody and Dom?
I got Dominic winning because I feel like Lesnar's going to show up and beat up Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Next up for the... I still can't believe this is a matchup. The women's tag team titles.
The match that nobody cares about. Actually, I can't say that. I can't say that. It's wrestling. My prediction for actually, I'll let you go first on this one.
You know what? You know what is really gonna win? You know what? You know who I picked to win?
Who?
All the restrooms in the world, because they're all gonna be filled by the time this match starts.
Give me Ronda and Shayna.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna be Ronda and Shayna, and possibly Liv Morgan turning heel.
Interesting. Dave thinks it's going to be Raquel and Liv regaining the titles.
No.
I doubt that for one reason. That Ronda supposedly has been pushing herself to be in a tag team with Shayna. I don't think they're going to have them drop the belts this quickly.
Okay. Okay, for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, which I think might be one of the sleeper matches of the night.
Yes.
Gunther versus Matt Riddle.
Give me Gunther in this one, and I think his historical reign continues.
It's going to be a good matchup, I'll tell you that.
This isn't the first time they have had a match, the two of them.
So, a little known fact, ironically, it's happening in the UK as well. There is a wrestling promotion out there called Progress Wrestling.
Yes.
And these two have had a trilogy of matches over the I think it's called the Progress Atlas Championship, which is like their version of a mid-card title per se.
Why don't we ask the person in the comments who lives over in the UK?
He might not even know, but I know that Riddle was champion once, and then Gunther beat him for the title. And then Gunther... Hold on, this is bothering me now. Hold, please. Please.
David, can you answer in the comments below? What's the title that Progress uses?
Progress Atlas Championship. I was right.
Right, did you cut out there?
No, I'm here.
Okay, because for some reason, it's like when you were talking, it sounded like you were like,
Why do you sound like a monkey?
Because you sounded very robotic for a second.
I said, nope, I got it. So anyway, Matt Riddle was the second ever Progress Atlas champion for 175 days. Then he lost to Gunther or Walter.
Mm-hmm.
And then these two were going at it back and forth for almost 9 months for this title.
And you're talking about Walter when he still had a little bit of
cushion.
Yeah.
Riddle won the title, and then Walter defeated him, and then Riddle beat him for the second time, which, by the way, that took place when Progress was in New York City. Thank you, David. And then a month later, Walter defeated Riddle. That's when Riddle went off to WWE.
Didn't he do UFC first?
Yeah, he was a UFC fighter, I think, back in 2011 to 2014 or 15, and then he transitioned into pro wrestling, which where he was trained at the world famous Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey, the same training school that I think you may know some of these superstars. The Irish ass kicker himself, known as Sheamus, Damian Priest, as well as some other individuals as Steve Macklin, Deonna Purrazzo came out of there as well, and of course, Matt Riddle. But these two have had matches back and forth in Progress, and I'm glad that they're actually bringing it back to the UK. And you know damn well those two are going to have a fucking brawling of a match.
Oh yeah, I think I mentioned this on the show before. Gunther has had more 5-star matches in WWE than anybody else.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of 5-star matches, I forgot to mention this when we were talking about AEW earlier. Will Ospreay has a little record for himself.
Okay.
The man has at least 25 5+ star matches under his belt.
No, no, right. Right. David just mentioned here. He goes, Riddle was UFC for a short time, while I think also Timothy Thatcher was involved in MMA for a while. That's how he knows Riddle. I didn't know that's how Riddle basically got introduced to WWE was because of Timothy Thatcher.
I think so, but Thatcher lives in California, though. I mean, they must have met, during travel. But anyway,
yeah,
that's the Money in the Bank. So You got Gunther, I got Gunther. I'm good. Yeah. So next up,
which one?
I have a feeling this might be the main event.
Okay.
As the bloodline implodes.
Okay.
The team of Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, quite possibly one of the greatest tag teams of our modern era.
Mm-hmm.
Taking on Solo Sikoa and the undisputed intergalactic Space Mountain riding Big Splash Mountain. It's a small world after all. Pirates of the Caribbean Universal Champion Roman Reigns. I don't know why I was throwing so many Disney references in there. But then
Where are you going with that?
I was going to try to name as many Disney rides as I can because apparently, Disney takes everything over, so fuck it, why not? Spoiler alert, folks, we are now sponsored by Disney. I'm just kidding.
Moving on.
That way, John can finally be with someone who has the same vocal range as him. Mickey Mouse! Oh!
You know Walt Disney was an anti-Semite, right?
Yeah, I know. And he froze his body, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Oh!
You should do the rest of predictions like that.
Oh, God. Oh, why, like Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh! I'm thinking this matchup. Oh, I think the Usos are going to win.
Okay, don't do that again, please.
What do you think, Minnie? Oh, Mickey, I love you so much. Yes, I'm going to go with the Usos because Roman Reigns sucks. Oh, I love you, Minnie.
What the fuck did you just do?
Losing my goddamn brain cells. How does that sound?
Okay, I'm just going to let people know. That moment's going to just get clipped.
Oh, God, no.
As far as me, I have to top.
You asked me to do it, so I did it.
I didn't need you to do a whole one-man stand.
Oh, I am so sorry, almighty John Blaine. The team apologizes to you. The team, almighty John Blaine.
Oh, Jiminy Cricket. I'm smart. I went to college, right?
Community college doesn't count.
Actually, I did do community college. What are you kidding?
Anyway.
Shout out to Nassau Community College.
But anyway, I think I'm going to pick the Usos.
I would have to agree. I think the Usos get the win here. I think we see more of an implosion because also our buddy David also agrees as well and says Jimmy and Jay will get the win.
But Roman doesn't get the pin.
No, they're going to pin Solo.
Okay, now we're going to go into the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match of Seth frickin' Rollins and Finn Balor. What?
Would you like me to go first on this one?
Yes.
After the promo package we saw Monday night, I'm going with Finn Balor to get the win here on Saturday.
I'm with you.
I say that
doesn't need the title.
No. I say that for one reason. You go back and watch that video package. And I like the one little thing I liked was if you notice midway through that package and Balor had already relinquished the title. He'd give it to then general manager Mick Foley. And he's walking up the ramp. And the first person who comes out, as he said, to put more salt into the wound, was Seth Rollins. When I heard that, I was like, oh, they're going back that far. To be honest, I agree with you. Seth doesn't need the title anymore.
No.
Give it to Finn and let Finn have a proper run with a world. Because this would be, if he were to win, this would be the first time he actually got a world title in WWE.
Yeah. I'm not even counting his Universal title win because that was only a day. I'm not counting that.
Not even, that was even a day. That was a couple of hours. Let's call a spade on that one.
Pretty much.
So we're both, are you in agreement with Balor as well?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, it looks like David has predicted that he thinks it will be Rollins getting the win.
Oy.
I think personally, I think it's going to be a great match.
Oh, no, I agree.
But I think at this point, especially with what we've seen with Balor the last couple of weeks, I want to see him get that win.
All right. We got 2 more matches. First off, the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Okay.
You have Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Io Sky, Zoe Stark, and Zelina Vega.
I'll tell you right now. Actually, you go first. Who's your prediction?
I got a couple, actually.
Okay.
I got either Zelina Vega as the wild card.
Okay.
Or Io Sky. Because hear me out.
Okay.
Because three of the 6 women in this matchup are in a feud or in a weird storyline with each other.
Yes.
In Zoe Stark, Trish Stratus, and Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Zoe Stark is going to be nowhere climbing that ladder. She's pretty much going to be Trish's muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
So those 3 are going to go at it, and then you have Bayley and Bayley. I think they're breaking up Damage Control. I really think they are.
Oh, I could see that very easily.
Because also the way that Bayley's mannerisms have been towards Io.
So I don't think...
And Io's toward Bayley. And then Zelina Vega, she's been on fire since she joined that LWO.
Yeah. But I got you want to hear my prediction?
Sure.
All right, let me give you what David says his prediction is. He goes, I'm saying again, Trish, for some reason, I got a feeling.
Why?
Because you let Trish do it, you let her get one more run at the title.
Oh, God, no.
I got one for you.
Oh.
And I think it makes some perfect sense, especially with the little backstage interaction they had. Becky.
No, she doesn't need it.
She doesn't need it, but realistically, you look at any of those women. Who's the only one that's a feasible opponent for Rhea?
Io. Those two have a history at NXT.
I don't know. I just think because Io's, from what I read, also supposedly. Actually, no. I don't want to spoil the thing I read about with the women's side of things.
And now we come to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Here we go. Ryan, I'll let you go first on this one.
All right, so we have Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, and LA Knight in the matchup.
And Logan Paul.
Nope. I'm not counting him because he didn't earn that shit. He's out.
Okay, go on.
My picks, and I'm picking multiples, by the way.
Okay.
Either Damian Priest
or
L.A. Knight. Yeah!
Okay.
Because also, I read somewhere that the Money in the Bank briefcase changed its...
Yeah, you're saying that. Yeah, you're saying that.
That apparently now, not only could you go for any of the world titles, you can go either for the United States or the Intercontinental title.
No, you definitely could.
And I said this to you earlier, John.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the, if LA Knight wins, I can see him being the one dethroning Gunther's reign.
It very well could be. Oh, I'm waiting for my pick. I'm waiting to give my pick.
And I know your pick is, and I'm going to give you my explanation why it's that pick.
Can I give my pick?
Sure.
My pick is going to be Logan Paul. Let me tell you exactly why. Not saying, and before I get chastised for this, okay? Let me explain my thought process on this. I want LA Knight to win. I want Priest to win. Don't get me wrong. But if from what I'm reading is accurate, Hunter ain't in control of creative anymore. It's Vinnie Mac, especially as we get closer to the merger with them and UFC becoming official. We all know Vince McMahon doesn't give a flying fadoodle about the pro wrestling stuff.
The guy doesn't even know where he is half of the time.
My point is this. WWE cares about one thing. They care about the casual fan. They don't give a crap about the hardcore fan like you, me, and David and other people. They don't care about the hardcore fan. If Hunter is the one who's booking Saturday, then absolutely, I can see Knight or Priest winning it. But if what I read is true and it's Vinny, I think it's going to be Logan Paul. I really do. Because then you can attract the mainstream media, because then you can have Logan Paul do his YouTube videos and have the Money in the Bank briefcase there.
So basically, you want a bunch of 14-year-old girls who watches his videos watch WWE now. Great job, buddy.
I'm not saying you have to have the 14-year-old girls watching it.
Well, that's basically the demographic of his fan base.
Because also you have to realize if he's doing tours for the Prime drink, he can carry the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Prime sucks.
It's actually not bad.
It sucks.
It's not bad.
It sucks, John, you 14-year-old girl.
Okay, let's ask the audience. If you drink Prime, let me know in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And what was your favorite flavor? I know why you picked Logan Paul. Why?
Because you have a man crush on his best friend, KSI.
No, it's because I'm thinking like WWE thinks here. I'll say this much. If Logan Paul doesn't win on Saturday, I'll be the first one to come on here and eat crow.
I mean, to be honest, I don't give a shit who wins on the Money in the Bank ladder match. I mean, granted, I have my two picks, but as long as Logan Paul doesn't win, I am good.
But I'm going to say this right now. If it's not Logan Paul and ends up being LA Knight or Damian Priest or whoever, I'll come on air next time we're on air and I will eat crow.
Well, you've been eating crow a lot lately, haven't you?
It's not so good. You have to add some ketchup to it. Then it's better.
Jesus Christ.
My point is this. I'm thinking like WWE thinks here.
So, very small-minded.
If Logan Paul wins, I'll personally shiv those Prime bottles up his...
David, thank you. And Logan might actually like that.
You know what's funny? But if he does win, then I'm just going to come on air next time and go, I told you all.
And that he's a 14-year-old girl.
Dude, I'm not saying it because of the 14-year-old girl part. I'm thinking more in line of the mainstream media attention that WWE can get from this.
But why would Logan... Well, if you're doing a massive merger with Endeavor who does UFC, what the fuck does Logan Paul have to do with that?
Because, again, you could have him, because, like you said before, he can go after any title. Hey, he can go cash in on Austin Theory. You want to call a spin?
Yeah, then that means you're gonna make Theory a babyface, and that right there also slaps the face of every hardworking individual in WWE because they bring in a part timer. So if Trish wins and Logan Paul wins, I'm gonna be so pissed, and I'm gonna go on a rant, telling Vinnie Mac to empty his colostomy bag, go find other individuals to be his soulmate, and get the fuck out of the public eye.
I'm just gonna tell you right now. Go back to 2018. I think it was 2019 when they had Money in the Bank, Mustafa Ali was set to win the briefcase, and then all of a sudden Brock Lesnar came out.
That was a Vince McMahon move. We know that.
I could see Vince pulling the same shit on Saturday. I could easily see Vince pulling the same shit on Saturday. Because again, it gets the mainstream media. It gets shows like the Today Show and Good Day New York and whatever's on CBS right now talking about it.
Whatever's on CBS right now. That's funny.
But that's, or even like Good Morning America, even. That's my point here. I'm not talking about the YouTube stuff or the Prime stuff. I'm looking at more as far as you can have the mainstream companies turn around and go, oh, famous YouTuber Logan Paul won the WWE's Money in the Bank ladder match this past weekend over in London. I could see it already.
If they wanted to bring in more mainstream media attention, then they should have had him dethrone Roman at Crown Jewel.
They're not going to. This is WWE we're talking about here.
WWE didn't pull the trigger on that. What makes you think they're going to pull the trigger on this one?
Because.
And this is coming from the God of Logic himself.
No, your logic of God.
Whatever. This is coming from someone who actually has working brain cells.
Okay.
And not have the same mindsets as they did back in the 1980s.
I'm going to put a bet on this right now.
Why?
Have some fun with this.
Put a bet. You sound like someone else we know.
No. It's not going to be a bet. If it ends up being Logan Paul. Hold on. David just wrote a comment here that I actually agree with him. Thank you. That's my point. But
again, they don't need whatever. I guess because I'm actually thinking from an actual real wrestling fan's perspective, not an 8-year-old kid who likes
Right. It's not. Oh my God. It's not me thinking like an 8-year-old here because I'm older than that. By the way, thank you.
All right, you're 10.
Well, I act like my shoe size, but that's not another story for another day.
Oh, so you're 6 then?
Actually, I got a size 13. It means I wear big socks.
Moving on.
But my point is this. Vince McMahon doesn't give a crap about the wrestling's part. All he cares about is getting the mainstream media attention and money. Believe me, do I want Logan Paul to win? You bet your ass I want him to win. Do I think he's going to win if Vince is running creative for that show? Absolutely not. And again, if it ends up being what's his face, LA Knight or Damian Priest or whomever, I'll come on air the next time we're on and I will eat crow. And Ryan, I'll give you permission to turn around and tell me I told you so.
I'm here.
I know. I'm just saying. I was giving you permission that if it ends up being LA Knight or Damian Priest to turn around, even if you tell me at work that Monday, actually we're not at work that Monday. Next time I see you in person after the show.
Well, yeah, because we have a nice little 4-day weekend.
Yes. My point is this: you could turn around and tell me I told you so, and I'll be the first one to admit it that I screwed up. Won't be the first time, and it sure as hell won't be the last time.
All I want to see is an appearance from Bad Bunny. That's all I want to see.
Well, that's what I think they're set up for SummerSlam.
I think so too.
But Ryan,
that'll be mainstream media right there.
Oh, absolutely. But Ryan, do you have to go refill your beverage?
No, but I need a fucking breather. So go right ahead, John. The floor is yours.
Okay. Guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show tonight. It was a blast. Unfortunately, I did mention this on social media the last couple of days. We were going to have some announcements that we had to make. The first announcement is after tonight's show, we'll actually be off for the next 2 weeks. And I say that we're going to be off for the next 2 weeks for two specific reasons. because next Tuesday, actually, here in the States, is July 4th. So we will not be on for that show. Then the following week, we will not be on as well, because that Monday, I'm going in for a little procedure. I'm not going to go into more about what this procedure is, but I'm going for a little procedure. So I will not be in the right shape or state of mind. However, with that all being said, there's also going to be some changes coming to the show. Not changes as far as you're not going to see me or you're not going to see Ryan anymore, because we'll still be here. Obviously, you can't see Ryan right now because he's not here, but of course, that's why we call him John Cena. But there is Costa. And until Costa comes back, he will not be in our intro anymore. Going further, the intro will be specifically myself and Ryan until Costa comes back. I'm not saying Costa's off the show permanently, but right now, since he has not been on the show the last couple of weeks, we have to move on. And this is not meant for me to come off like a dick or me to come off like a scumbag or an asshole. This is me strictly saying that I'm looking out for the show's benefit. The show has been through a lot. Thank you, David. The show has been through a lot, and I want the show to continue. In November, we're set to celebrate 2 years of the show. With everything the show has been through, I never thought a million years we would hit 2 years. But in order for us to get to November, we got to get through some of these changes. And I know they're not changes that people want to hear. Trust me. I want Costa to be on with us right now. But obviously, Costa has other things going on at this current time. And that's why he is not on with us. So, also, the other thing I also would like to mention, going further, I realized in the last couple of weeks, with the way the show has been going, that I have let a lot of stuff slide. And that's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to basically take more of a grip on the show and make the show the best that I know it can be. Am I saying we're going to be busted open? No, not at all. But we are going to be Around the Ropes podcast. So again, if you're just joining us and you missed the announcements, tonight will be our last show until the middle of July. Again, stay locked into our social media accounts for updates about when we do come back live. And also, going further, Costa will not be in our intro anymore. Ryan, you can come back on.
I'm still here.
So what did you think about what I just said?
It's all you.
You are allowed to give an opinion.
I got no words, dude. It's all you.
No, but how do you think I did well as far as presenting it?
Of course.
But I also want to send one minor shout out before I forget to Busted Open. Because today, Ryan, I know you don't get a chance to listen to them that much. They're actually trending number 1 on Twitter today.
Wow.
With the hashtag BustedOpen247. I've said this before, Ryan. I said this to you privately, and I'll say this in public. There's no Around the Ropes podcast without Busted Open. With what they've done between Dave, Bully, Mark, Mickey, Thunder, they've made talking wrestling fun. They didn't make it feel like, you had to be a nerd to talk wrestling. And Dave is a huge inspiration for us for me doing the show. I mean, we always joke here that I have my Dave LaGreca moments and Ryan sometimes acts like Bully Ray. But Dave, and if you get a chance to see this, from everybody here at the Around the Ropes podcast, congratulations on what you guys have accomplished. And I have been a listener of Busted Open for years now. I remember going back to when they were on 3 days a week from like 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Back in the days when they had Larry Dallas as their co-host. And that's going back years already.
Jeez.
So again, from everybody here at the Around the Ropes podcast to Busted Open, congratulations on what you guys accomplished today. And here's to much more success. I can't wait to finally see Busted Open 24/7 come to fruition, because that will be the only channel I'll be listening to on Sirius XM. In addition to the music stuff, of course, but that will be my main channel. Ryan, anything else you'd like to talk about before we sign off for tonight?
I'm all talked out, dude.
Well, guys, from everybody here at the Around the Ropes podcast, actually, before I get to that, was there any other shows you wanted to promote before we sign off?
Trying to think off the top of my head if there's anything in general. August 4th, Invictus, Creator Pro July 30th, Win July 29th. July 15th, if you are around the Meadowlands, there is a massive American food festival happening where one of the vendors is a very good friend of ours, more so mine than John's. Sorry, John.
Well, that's fine.
And a little food truck called Those Freaking Empanadas. Basically, that week, John and I will be fasting that entire week.
I'll be skinnier than I am now.
As will I. And then come the end of the festival, we'll be back to our normal selves.
Wait, hold on. What week is that? That's the week of the 15th, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, God. With what's happened at the beginning of that week?
Oh, yes.
I'll be a toothpick come Friday.
I found you.
I'll be the life-size human bobblehead. Or as I like to call it, I'm an improper fraction. You okay there, Ryan? You have a twitch or everything okay?
I don't know. I'm getting a little dizzy right now.
Why'd you do that then?
Because.
Okay.
Because of Prime.
Well, on that note, from everybody here at the Around the Ropes podcast, have a happy, safe, do not become JPP, and have a happy and safe July 4th weekend.
Oh my God. And for those of you who don't celebrate 4th of July, happy Money in the Bank.
Again, guys, we will not be on next week or the following week, but we will have some YouTube exclusives being dropped in the interim. So you'll still see our beautiful faces.
And hopefully a new show will be dropping soon.
Yes, the curtain has to be built.
It should have been built months ago, but hey, what do I know?
It's being worked on. I don't sound like that.
You sound like a Logan Paul fan.
Oh, Mother and Mary Joseph. Okay, I'll put you this way. We will do an instant reaction video.
Oh, God.
After Money in the Bank.
Oh, God.
And if Logan Paul does win, I'm just going to sit here and go, thank you. Thank you. Before the show...
I had something to say, but I'm not going to say it on camera.
Before the show goes off the rails...
Too late.
It's us. Ryan, hopefully you have a safe and happy July 4th weekend. Even though I'll see you in the office tomorrow.
Oh, of course.
For more fun and festivities. But for everybody else who's watching, again, have a happy and safe July 4th. Do not play with fireworks. Do not become JPP. And we will end up actually catching you guys. I'll give you the exact date right now. We will actually catch you guys again on July 18th.
Yep.
For a live Around the Ropes podcast. So again, guys.
Where we will still be in our empanada comas.
Yeah. But on that note, guys, have fun. Stay safe. Go subscribe to our channel. It costs you nothing. It does wonders for us. And we'll catch you guys next time.